Hello everyone, how are we all? Hope you all doing alright. It is Monday the 21st of October, and yeah, I hope everyone is doing okay. I had a little think this morning about trying to fix the GoPro's mic. I say fix, I don't even know if it's actually broken or not. It's just I am sure that the audio used to be a lot better than how it has been recently. So I'm doing two things. I'm talking a little bit louder than I usually do, just to try and make that a little bit more clear. And I also tried to see if there was anything in there. I got like a needle to try and pick stuff out of it. Excuse me. I don't know if that's actually had any impact or not. It occurred to me that a little while ago that So I had a bag of Twix cookies in my rucksack, and the Twix cookies have got a lot of caramel in them. And when I put the camera into the bag one time, it then went into the bag of cookies, and I think, well, I know because I picked it out, a lot of caramel got into part of the camera. And I'm wondering if that might have something to do with it. So, vague elephant in the room. I was actually away for like 2 weeks, I think, really. The video, not counting the video I uploaded saying that there wasn't going to be a vlog. I haven't done an actual one for like 2 weeks now. And the reasoning behind that, unfortunately, is that there was a death in the family. And I just wasn't feeling very good about it or about making a video, so I didn't. It is what it is. It's unfortunate and it's sad, but there's nothing that can be done about it. So that was why I didn't make a vlog, and why the only thing that was going up was the Let's Plays, because those are all recorded. So that's kind of it. The funeral's next week on Halloween. So for now I'm just kind of put all that to one side, and we shall see what happens. I've actually got this week off from work, unrelated to that. I'd had this week booked off of work for quite some time. It's Jay's birthday this week, or at least not like for the whole week, but it's Jay's birthday this week, and so I booked off this week as well so that we could do some stuff. It just so transpired that the timing was relatively apt, unfortunately so, but hey ho. Here in the UK, and it's been this case for a while, you have to be 16 or over to buy energy drinks. Okay, like that's fine. I think they brought that rule in while I was out in Canada, which is fine. It's no problem. If anything, it's actually been quite good for me. It's been a good deterrent for me to actually buy them, because I can't be bothered with faffing about waiting for someone to come over and approve that, because when I go to the supermarket, generally I'm not buying that much, so I always go through the self-service checkouts that they have there, which is fine when they're fine, if that makes sense. There's a problem with today's world, and I mean, well, it's not, it's the way the world's moving, unfortunately, where everything is moving towards automation, which means that rather than have, say, 4, well, how much could you fit in that space? Maybe two manned checkouts. Rather than have those there, they've gotten rid of the 2 manned checkouts and have put in 6 automatic ones with 1 person to take care of them all. And inevitably 3 of them break at once, and then you're down to 3 checkouts, but only 1 of them is manned because there's only 1 person who can only deal with 1 thing at a time across 3 checkouts. So realistically, Yes, you're probably saving money by not having to spend extra money on people, but it's not exactly good for a customer experience, because you're waiting in the queue for longer, then you have to wait at the checkout machine for longer for someone to come over and help you, because they always break anyway. They're not very well designed. They're very easy to manipulate and to just steal from. Not that I have. I'm a good citizen, but they just don't work properly. And then there is only one person to deal with 6 of the machines that don't work properly. And when you're one person trying to spin 6 plates that are already wobbling, then they're all going to fall. And that's what happens. Airports are the worst, mind you. You go to airports and now they've gotten rid of more or less all of the manned check-in desks. And now you've just got banks upon banks of automated systems where all you need to do is scan your passport, and then you can print off your boarding pass there along with your ticket and do everything there. Weigh your luggage, get your luggage tag, and then all you need to do is just give it to the person at the desk, and that's it, job done. But they do not work all of the time. And once again, you have loads of these machines and a disproportionately small number of people to take care of them when they go wrong. And the thing about the airport one is that whilst they don't necessarily go wrong more often, they are used less frequently per person, if that makes sense. I'll use a supermarket self-checkout exponentially more times throughout the year than I will an airport automated ticket machine, right? As I'm sure everyone would. So whilst they don't break as much, the lack of people's understanding of how to use them properly means that it still takes longer to get through. I will admit, I remember going on holiday as a kid and being stood in queues at check-in desks for hours, or what felt like hours. So I get it has probably reduced that, but I think it makes more sense to just have more manned desks, more manned machines, than to cut all of those out, save all of that money, and then just dull the customer experience. Anyway, went off on a massive tangent. So, you have to be 16 to buy energy drinks in the UK. And like I was saying, that is a deterrent for me, because I can't be bothered to wait at the self-checkout machine for someone to come over, look at my face and go, yeah, there's no way he's 16 anymore, and approve it. It just takes a bit longer. So it was a good deterrent for me. It's been useful. But every now and then I will decide to get one. And it was today, as I bought this one, that I thought to myself, how is it that you have to be and prove that you are 16 to buy an energy drink, when the amount of kids who are barely cresting the wave of 12 are able to go into coffee shops and buy coffees and stuff like that? You don't ask a 12-year-old for ID in a coffee shop. Energy drinks are just massive concoctions of caffeine and sugar, which is why they are restricted products, because of the sugar content more than the caffeine, I think. But if you have a kid that goes into a coffee shop, they can just buy a coffee and load it up with sugar, and then have they not more or less got the same thing? I don't really know. Like, I mean, I get that these are like massively weighted. So look at this. This has got 58 grams of sugar in it, 32 milligrams per 100 mils. So 32 times 5 is what, 160, 1.6 grams of caffeine, and then 58 grams of sugar. I mean, granted, you're not going to get a coffee with that kind of with those kinds of numbers in there, but still, surely, if I've got to be ID'd for energy drinks, surely kids should be being ID'd in Starbucks. Maybe not Starbucks, maybe more reputable coffee companies. Mini rant over. It's not a vlog without one, I guess. We've had Lime bikes, we've had kids going into Five Guys. I think I'm beginning to give off the impression that I don't really like children. And I'm going to refuse to comment as to whether or not that is true. How about some more rants for you? Let's have another one, because I'm just flicking through the TV guide to see what kind of trash is on this Monday lunchtime. So we got the news, yeah, is what it is. Oh, The Boss. Susan Calman hosts the quiz show of tactics, knowledge and nerve. Contestants must work as a team, but ultimately there can only be one boss. Classic EastEnders. Ken has taken the baby and... classic EastEnders. The first word. New. Then it's not classic, is it? It's like that saying's like, new and improved. No, it's only one of those things. Ken has taken the baby and Dot is completely panic-stricken. The police tell Dot to expect a visit from social services, who want to speak to Disa. The Bachelor. Chris Harrison hosts After the Final special and gets the lowdown from series 19 finalists Becca and Whitney and Bachelor Chris about their journey. There's been 19 series of that. Oh, how about this? This is a program called Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. And it sounds exactly like my sort of show. Unbeknownst to JD, the godfather of hip hop, Bow Wow drops a new song and risks it all. Ayana faces a surgical crisis when she struggles to launch her online boutique. What the The episode that's currently on, Ayana drops a health bomb on DJ Hurricane. Bow faces off with Shania's secret man. Deb catches Johnny Blaze on the pole, and all hell breaks loose. Yeah, let's put that on.
That side of things, where people have to realize, in order for you to be that true superstar, you truly have to take accountability for your actions. Self-awareness is key in this business. You stop dancing, and if this is what you really want, then Johnny, that's on you.
She told me I need to stop dancing, so that's what I'm doing.
And so you won't be dancing anymore?
No.
That's quite enough of that. Finding Father Christmas? It's October! The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Here we are, now we're getting into the real trash. The Gorga siblings? Georgia? Someone will be able to clue me in on that. The Gorga siblings sit down to settle their differences sensibly, but tensions boil over, leaving Jacqueline to referee. Series 3 of that trash. Hardcore porn? Not what you think. With the shop short-staffed, Seth struggles to stay on the ball. That is too much sibilance. With the shop short-staffed, Seth struggles to stay on the ball. There's too many S's. With each new high-drama customer, he gets closer and closer to his breaking point. John Hagee. Pastor Hagee is the founder and senior pastor of Cornerstone Church in San Antonio, Texas. His passion is to reach the lost, fulfilling the Great Commission of proclaiming the gospel of Jesus.
Good that he changed his mind. Paul was on the road to Damascus. I'm going to call him Saul because that's what his name was.
I'm gonna call him Saul because that's what his name was. Hey, you guys, call me Nick because that's my name. I'm gonna show you this thing that old drama teacher of mine recommended to me I think a few years ago now, because it's been a long time since I was in school. In fact, it's been over 10 years. If you want something to make you feel old, just think about the days when you were back at school. Anyway, get yourself a mug of tea. Right? I have mine black, as you can see. Ignore the film on top, it's been sat there a while. It is still hot, but it's fine. Anyway, what you need is a Twix. You just bite the ends off. Right. Be quiet. Just bite the ends off like that. And suck your tea up through the Twix. Hopefully this will work in a way. I mean, Twixes are a bit shorter than they used to be in the day, so this will be a bit harder to do, but you won't even be able to see it going up, but whatever. There you go. Simple as that. And it works, but obviously it's hot, so you kind of have to do it before the Twix melts. But it's an interesting way of drinking tea, I guess. Or hot chocolate, I don't know, whatever your hot drink is. Can't imagine it would taste nice with coffee, but then coffee doesn't taste very nice, so. Oh yeah, and then you bite into it and it's just super soft and delicious. How you all doing? Hope everyone's alright. I'm mildly out of breath because I've just been drumming. Mixed to positive. Definitely could have played better than I did. I think it still sounded fine, but like, there was dumb mistakes and stuff that just kept on winding me up more and more, and obviously the more wound up I got, the more mistakes I made, the more mistakes I made, and the more wound up I got, and so on and so forth. So in the end I've stopped practicing early just to try and make sure that I maintain a level of composure and non-stressedness, because the whole point of having a week off is that you don't get stressed. Especially not with one of your hobbies. As we all know, the Amazon is burning, trees are disappearing, the planet is choking, the environment is in chaos. and we're being told to recycle more, to stop wasting paper. Firstly, you know, they also fill bars with paper straws now so that we don't use the plastic one. But save paper. We have received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 leaflets today. 9 pieces of junk mail. Why? Why? Check a trade. We're not looking for any tradies. Private healthcare, pretty healthy. Charity. Buy a new sofa and carpet. Are you considering getting new windows? No, because it's coming into winter. Here are some properties we've sold in your area. Give us yours as well. No, ours is fine as it is. Does your roof need fixing? No. We've had it done already. Are you looking for more customers? Leaflet distribution. Burn down more. Unbelievable. Carrots are nice though. Oh, don't get any less painful. Oh. Textbook. Woohoo! Oh, not backwards again! Not backwards again! Oh no! Get forward! Oh, couldn't stick the landing. There's only one way to find out. Sorry, if you're lucky, my battery might die before you fall off.
You're not filming me?
No. See you at the bottom. Oh, look at the valley. In panic, I stopped the video. Sorry. I was like, oh, I've got to put the camera away. And then didn't. Anyway. Never mind. We'll catch the others in now. I like these kinds of days out. I just don't like all of the crotch strain. If you're in these harnesses all day, then you got these that are just pulling up like that. It's a hard life. The flailing leg technique does seem to work. The approach is good. Look at that. It's Thursday the 24th of October. I hope you're alright today. I am absolutely shattered. Oh my god, I slept like a log-ish. And I've just slept a lot. Yesterday was a tiring day. It was great fun though. It's been a while since I've done that. Which is also, I haven't looked back at the footage yet. I hope it's good, because I still haven't fixed being able to pair the camera with my phone yet. I don't know what's gone on with it. I don't know how. So hopefully it all came out well. We shall see. Not sure what the plan is for today. Currently trying to make one. However, the weather outside is miserable. So maybe there won't actually be a plan today, and it'll just be a day off, because that's what a week off's supposed to be about, right? This is the thing. I've not had a week off of just having a week away from work. Different things, I think. A week off is where you have a week where you do nothing. A week away from work is a week where you do things, but you are not at work. Not that that's a problem. It's I'm glad to be doing stuff. Otherwise, I'd be absolutely going out of my mind if I'd had an actual week off to just sit indoors. So I'm glad to be doing stuff, but I am tired. Oh well. Ooh, got caught on the carpet grip there. Ouch. It's Friday, the 25th of October, and I just had a sneezing fit, and now my stomach hurts. That's my morning. Just seen a thing on the telly about a crime that occurred where this guy broke into a cafe after it was shut and took the staff's tip jar, because as any sensible cafe or as any sensible retail owner, you would not leave money in the tills overnight. No, that's really dumb. Probably less concerned about the tip jar. Like, there's no point really relocating it, for the simple reason that people in the UK don't tip. Certainly not all that much. Like, for a criminal to want to break into a cafe, of all places, not even a busy restaurant, break into a cafe and steal the tip jar, he must have been on such hard times, because there is no way that he made it out of there with any more than £3.48, like something like that. People over here, they don't tip unless it's like certainly not in a cafe. In a restaurant, maybe, yeah. Like I do. I think I'm quite a generous tipper, to be honest, but I think that's mostly to do with the fact that I work in the industry and know that no one else really gives a damn. So I always tip quite well, I think, but probably don't. I don't think I do in a cafe, really. In a restaurant, absolutely, because the way, like, you're paying for service, basically. That's part of it, and so the reason why you tip is if the service has been good. That's just the way it is. And then anywhere else, I would tip if they'd caught me on a good day. In a restaurant, it's obligatory, in my opinion, because it's a dedicated and personal service that you're getting. You don't have to lift a finger when you go into a restaurant if it's done correctly. You know, whereas I work in a bar, people do tip. Like, if we go and do table service for them, then people will tip. But if we just pour the drinks for them, then, like, generally people don't tend to. Sometimes people do, you know, and it is all very much appreciated. But I wouldn't necessarily tip my bartender here in the UK, because it's less of a service than an actual being served in a restaurant sort of thing, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's probably how most of the UK operates. Whereas obviously in the US and Canada, it's infinitely different. You tip irrespective of the service you've been given. You know, even really bad service gets like a little tip. You have to mess up so badly to not get anything. Yeah, and they tip for everything as well. It's, if your bartender pours you a drink, then you tip them on every drink. You know, you tip your cab drivers, your barbers, and all that sort of thing. I know that people do that over here as well, but I don't. Sorry. Hello everyone. It is late in the day on Saturday, October 26th. It's currently rolling up to about 5:30 in the evening. I have absolutely no idea if the dates for this vlog have actually lined up correctly or not. I've completely lost track of days. I've been doing things on days when I didn't think I would be. I wasn't doing things on days when I forgot I should be. My memory has been all over the place, as has my concept of time. So apologies if there's some dissonance between the dates that I'm seeing in the video and the dates that appear in whichever corner it'll appear in. I can't quite work it out. The dates that appear in the corner are the correct ones, so go with those ones. Ignore all the other dates that I have mentioned, because Holiday Nick has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. You'll know me, I like a good walk. I make most of these vlogs whilst I am out walking, and as you can probably see, time of day, weather, doesn't mean anything to me. I'm more than happy to go out for a little walk just to clear the cobwebs away, especially if I've not done anything all day. Don't mind going out for a walk, getting some steps in. You know, my walk to work takes me about 45 minutes, and according to my pedometer is around about 4,000 steps, which I feel like it's a good innings for the day. If I walk to and from work and have been doing like a all-day shift or a Friday or a Saturday night shift or whatever, generally I can expect to do around about 22,000 steps. I remember once the pedometer on my phone said that I had basically walked 13 miles one day, and I drove to and from work that day. I walked 13 miles without leaving the four walls of the building. So I like a good walk. And yesterday I went for a good walk. I was out walking for about 2 hours yesterday. Just over, I think. Just over 2 hours. I think it was about 10,000 steps in total, the walk. It was great. It's actually one of my favourite walks, and I don't do it very often. The last time I did it, there is a video of it, because I was vlogging the walk home and seem to remember being rather drunk and slipping over because it was also quite icy. I think it was for like a New Year meetup I'd done with people. Anyway, I did the same walk yesterday, and do you know what? It was very windy, but it's just as good a walk. Like, there's no real gradient to it, other than when I leave my house. There's a small uphill section, and then it goes downhill, and then it's relatively flat most of the way. And there's enough interesting stuff to look at, enough things going on as you're walking around, that it's not really boring. And that was at like 6 o'clock in the evening, you know, so it was actually quite dark. Like, it is going to be dark by 6 o'clock. In about 20 odd minutes it will be dark, so I need to get everything that I need to say said before I run out of light. So as I was walking yesterday, I was walking up a busy high street, up the main high street, near to where I was supposed to be meeting people, and had my iPod in, and then this lady has kind of stood by her car, and she sort of catches my attention. She's like, "Oh, excuse me. Take my earbuds out." Yeah, hi. She's like, "I'm really, really sorry. The battery on my car has gone flat. Would you be able to give me a push and help me get it started?" And I was like, in my head, I'm like, well, I'm running late, but outwardly I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. No promises. I'm not a particularly strong individual. I am not strong. I do not have the muscles. I'm just not. Especially upper body strength. No chance. That's with all of the barrels that I lift day in, day out. It doesn't happen. Especially after this week off, I've just kind of got muscle wasting. I haven't. There was a very ill-advised joke. My apologies. Anyway, where she was, her battery had died, and she'd managed to manoeuvre her car onto the pavement, and it was it was a nice wide pavement, so it wasn't really in the way. But in order for her to get going, I'd have to push her car, not her, push her car, like a considerable distance, and there was this lamppost in the way. So I had to push from the front first to reverse it, and I was very worried initially because there's a stranger asking me to push their car from the front, and the thought did go through my mind that this might just be a really elaborate ruse, and when I'm in front of the car, she is literally just going to mow me down. Fortunately, that didn't happen, as you can tell. But anyway, we pushed her car back a ways to give us enough room to be able to push the car forwards and then to turn into the road, and hopefully the engine would start and then she could be on her merry way, because that's how you can get the car to work sometimes. If the battery's flat, you can give it a shove whilst turning the ignition and then it jumps into life. So we pushed it a ways back and had to wait for all the traffic to clear. This was a real busy intersection right by a mini roundabout, because of course it was. I mean, she was probably feeling quite unnerved about it, not as much as I was, because I had to then push her car from the rear to try and get it going into traffic. Like there was points in my mind where I was like, I really don't feel safe doing this, I really shouldn't be doing this, I'm just going to get flattened. Fortunately, there was a funeral director's right nearby, so at least everything would have been taken care of rather smoothly. Not that they would have been open at that time in the evening, but anyway, I digest. So I just started pushing this car. She turned it into the road when we found a gap in the traffic, and then I was just pushing this car in the road with traffic building up behind me. Someone was beeping their horn behind me. I was like, what do you want me to do? I've got to push this car. It's going nowhere. Right, I've got to push a car to try and get it started. So as I kind of pushing it on, sort of curled my fingers in a little bit, leaving just the middle one extended, just to kind of push it out, keep moving this car, just pushing this car. And then it was like it wasn't starting. She wasn't. Ordinarily, what I'd expect in that situation is the person who is trying to get their car started, because they've got to sit in the driver's seat and sort of be turning the ignition key to try and get the engine to go and turn on. I would expect them to be sat in there with the window open so that they can yell out at the door what their plan is. And she didn't do that. She was just sat in the car, and she was just sat in the car, kind of, steering, which is a very valuable thing for her to have been doing, because otherwise that car would have just weaved straight off into oncoming traffic, and I would definitely have not been happy about trying to recover it from there. So she was steering, which was fine, and kind of activating indicators and stuff like that. But it got to a point where it wasn't moving, so I was kind of stood behind her. I was like, what do you want me to do now? Like, the car just is not starting. There's traffic building up behind me. She was like, go that way. She just yelled out the window. It's like, well, turn right. She flicked the indicator on, so I had to manoeuvre the car into the lane that was in the middle of the road that you would have had to pull into if you wanted to turn right. Then we had to wait for a kind, fortunate soul to give us the go-ahead to go in front of them. I don't think they saw that the car was being pushed. So the car just slowly turns around the corner, and they see me like pushing the car. I give them a look to the windscreen of like so push it into this side road. There's a speed bump, so I've got to push this car up a speed bump and then into the. We pulled over. She got out of the car and was like, I can't get it to work, I'm so sorry, thank you so much for trying. And I was like, no, sorry, I couldn't help any more than I did. And as I walked away, I was like, why the hell am I apologising? I just pushed a massive car in actual road traffic for this stranger I've never met before. So yeah, I don't care what anyone says. I've definitely done my good deed for the year. Just had another wonderful experience with self-checkout machines. I'm not going to go into that rant because I think I've already done that on this vlog, but they don't half make me angry. They're trying to save time, and they just don't. Alright, okay, well, seeing as how you asked. They have 6 machines. 3 of them were broken. 2 of them were card only. And as I finished paying the one that was cash, I heard him say, "You're going to need to shut it, it's run out of change." Anyway, I think that's going to do us for this vlog. It's been a rather long one, I think, at the time of recording. There's a lot of clips that I've got to go through. So I'm going to wrap it up here. We've done a lot this week. This is it's great. It's my week off, and there's more content than ever. But I guess that's the way. It's probably the way it should be, really. Anyway, yeah. I will see you all next week, I suppose. Potentially. We'll see. Next week is the week of the funeral. So we'll see how things go. If there is a vlog, it will probably be a very short one, and it'll probably only be the early half of the week. But we'll see how things go. I will see you all, if not next week, then the week after. Bye bye.